What is going on, everybody? It's JetsCentral coming back for the 2018 New York Jets schedule release. Now, the schedule came out like 10-15 minutes ago, and basically what I'm going to be doing in this video is giving you guys my thoughts, giving you guys my opinions, and really breaking down this schedule, really talking about the teams we play, where we play them, when we play them, and how I like it, how I think the Jets will fare, throughout the course of the season. And, I got to say, I'm not going to be doing the whole win-loss projections that will be coming after the draft. I just don't feel comfortable doing that right now because I feel like at this juncture, not knowing all the data, we don't know who's going. This team that all the Jets fans have in mind isn't the complete team. This isn't the full team that's going to be competing every Sunday. It's not, because we haven't hit the draft yet. We don't know who's going to make the team. We don't know who's going to be the starting quarterback. So I'm not going to be doing the win-loss thing, but I'm basically going to be breaking it down into quarters. So I'm going to be talking about weeks 1 through 4 in a group, and then so forth and so on. So week 1, it's Jets at Lions, Monday Night Football. Interesting, primetime game to start it off. Week 2, it's Jets at home against the Dolphins. Week 3, it's Jets at Browns, Thursday Night Football. Don't forget about that. Jacksonville, week 4, in Jacksonville. So, I gotta be honest with you guys, taking a look at the first 4 games of the season, I don't really know how I feel about it. Now, we have 3 away games, okay? And as everyone knows, the New York Jets played a lot better last season when we played at MetLife Stadium. Okay, so 3 of the first 4 games away from MetLife, it could be troublesome looking at it on paper. Another concern I have is Monday Night Football week 1, Thursday Night Football week 3. That's 3 games within 17 days. Okay, for a young team like the New York Jets, potentially starting a rookie quarterback, that's a lot of game. That's not that much time in between games. 3 games within 17 days. That could be it's concerning to me. Okay, and then the 4th game is at Jacksonville, a playoff caliber team. They obviously dominated last season with the running game, with the defense. So that's a tough stretch for the New York Jets in the first quarter of the season. So moving on, week 5, it's Jets at home against the Denver Broncos. Week 6, it's Jets at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Week 7, Jets at home again against the Minnesota Vikings. And then week 8, of course, it's the New York Jets at legendary Soldier Field in Chicago. Now this quadrant, I guess, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better with this one because I know you have some tough teams like the Broncos, like the Vikings and whatnot, but I like playing at home. The back-to-back-to-back home games I think is going to be really, really beneficial for the New York Jets, especially with the young team. I touched on it earlier. The New York Jets last season played so much better at home with the home crowd, with the familiar sights and whatnot. They played so much better at home than away. So having 3 back-to-back-to-back home games for the New York Jets it's incredible. Now, I want to just take the time out and say the Minnesota Viking game, I'm really, really looking forward to. I really was hoping that this game would have been prime time. Kirk Cousins, it was really between the Vikings and the Jets. Pick the Vikings, obviously. And I just thought it would have been cool to see, maybe even if Bridgewater was starting. That would have been even awesome, would have been sick. If Bridgewater, the ex-Viking quarterback, leads the Jets on a primetime game at MetLife Stadium against Kirk Cousins, with the Minnesota Vikings, they're awesome. Coming into the stadium, that would have been a totally kick-ass game. But whatever, we're at home, and I really can't complain. So then you take a look at the Bears, obviously a new head coach, second-year quarterback in Mitch Trubisky, have a whole new offense being implemented, courtesy of Nagy and Helfrich, former OC over at Oregon. So this could be an interesting game. I really like Vic Fangio's defense from Chicago, and I think it's just going to be it's going to be a battle between 2 young, hungry teams, and that's what I really think this game is going to be. And I think it's actually going to be one of my favorite games of the season. That's actually a game I might want to go to because I've never been to Illinois. I've always wanted to go to Soldier Field, check out the field, the stadium where all like the legends played. So that would be totally awesome. So segueing over to week 9, we have Jets at Dolphins. Next, week 10, we have Jets at home against the Buffalo Bills. Week 11, we have a bye. I like that bye. Week 12, at home against the New England Patriots. Now, taking a look at this, 3 division rivals within 4 weeks. That could be huge. This could be huge because if the New York Jets start off a little rocky, early on in the season, we have some tough games, like the Jags, like the Lions, like the Vikings, like maybe even the Broncos. If the Jets start off rocky, this is a prime opportunity for the New York Jets to kind of pick up the pace, get a little speed boost, and get a little kick in the butt if they want to take advantage of this little 4-game stretch. 2 division rivalry games back-to-back, then a bye week right before the New England Patriots, they're pretty much they're going. I don't want to say they are going to be the best team in the division at this point because we don't really know, but it's looking like the Patriots will be the division leaders at this point in the season. So to have a bye week, a 2-week period to prepare for them, coming off 2 division rivalry games, if we could go 2-0 in that stretch, that could be absolutely huge because it could shake up the whole AFC East. It could really jumpstart us back into playoff life, if you will. So that quadrant is my favorite so far. So moving on, week 13, we have the New York Jets at the Tennessee Titans. Week 14, New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be a tough matchup. Week 15, at home against the Texans. And week 16, at home against the Green Bay Packers. So this is going to... A lot of good teams here. Titans, playoff team. Bills, playoff team. Texans, if Deshaun Watson is playing and obviously kind of builds upon last season, they very well could be a playoff team. And then the Green Bay Packers, they got the best player in the league in Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, that team is going through some shakeups. They got Jimmy Graham. Have yet to see what they have done with this year's draft class. And then they have 2 new coordinators. Mike Pettin coming in as defensive coordinator, implementing a new defense. Then you have ex-Dolphins head coach Joe Philbin taking over the offensive coordinator spot. So this Packer team could be completely different. It could be totally amazing. It could be maybe it could be like a 9-7 team. The team, the players might have trouble adjusting to the systems. Who knows? But right now, I think this is going to be a tough little stretch here. Because, like I said, the Jets have a hard time playing away. Now, I know it's a completely different season, but just what I've kind of picked up from Todd Bowles, what I've kind of picked up from the roster, is that this young team plays better at home. And to go to Tennessee, a playoff team, that could be tough. Going to Buffalo, division rival, at this point in the season, it's going to be cold. That could be a little rough. And then Texans, like I said, that it's a winnable game, don't get me wrong. But, it's just a tough game late in the season. Week 15, I could see that being like a must-win to stay in the playoff race or something. And Houston overall, I think they're going to bounce back on defense. And, the sky's the limit for Watson. And then Green Bay, of course, like I touched on earlier, Aaron Rodgers, these guys. So that it's going to be a tough matchup. Then, the last week of the season, week 17, at the New England Patriots, Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Now, before I kind of touch on this game, I just want to throw in there, doesn't it feel like the New York Jets it could just be me, but I feel like the New York Jets play the Patriots in week 16 or week 17 every single year. I don't know why, but I just feel like we never play in Foxborough early on. I don't know why. So... this could be like a win and you're in kind of thing. I mean, I know that's a kind of an optimistic view, but it's always tough playing in New England. It's always tough playing against New England. And I especially, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if Baker Mayfield is the quarterback of the New York Jets at this point in the season, I think this could be the game that I'm most excited for out of the whole year. So that's pretty much it for the season. That's pretty much it for my thoughts, my opinions on it. And like I said, I'm not going to be doing the win-loss thing until later on after the draft because I feel like I could give a better educated guess on who I think is going to win with having the more data for the team. So that's basically it. Let me know down in the comment section your guys' thoughts on the schedule. I mean, overall, I'm gonna give it a C-. I do like the stretch where we play at home, the 3 back-to-back-to-back home games, and I do like how we play the 3 division rivals really close together, weeks 9, 10, and 12. with 11 as the bye week. But other than that, I think it's going to be pretty tough. And I think we play the tougher teams away, which I think could be troublesome, throughout the course of the year. So again, let me know down in the comment section your guys' thoughts on the schedule. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and go Jets.